Hi guys, and welcome back to Love English. I'm Leila, and today I want to help you sound more like a native. Now, I know many of you don't have much time to study, so these are the 7 secrets of sounding more native almost instantly. I know that, like me, you are very busy and don't have that much time to study hours on end. So these are some very basic and some more advanced tips to help you improve your fluency, to help you sound more native, and to help you understand us when we talk. Now, some of these you can take on board instantly, and hopefully some you are already using. Shall we begin? Don't forget, we are on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course Snapchat. Make sure you connect with us there and send us your questions, comment on our photos and videos. We'd love to see you there. Okay, starting with number 1. Hopefully a very simple thing for you to do, and I'm really hoping you already do it. Contractions. When we speak in a formal conversational context, we always use contractions. I've been to the shops, she's been out. I'm doing my homework, I'll see you later. Whether you're contracting the auxiliary verb with the pronoun, or even in past modals or third conditional, you need to use contractions. They make the flow of speech much easier, much smoother, and it's how we speak, guys. We really do use contractions so regularly. So if you aren't sure, try writing some sentences down, adding the contractions where needed. They can also be with not, of course, I wasn't, she wasn't, we weren't. So let's do a little bit of practice just to make sure you're using them. I haven't been out today. I haven't been out today. I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'll call her later. I'll call her later. I haven't been working hard. I haven't been working hard. Can you see all those different tenses and how they all need to use contractions? Now, similar to contractions, we have reductions. Again, squeezing those words together to improve the flow of speech, to stop us slowing down and saying every single word. So, some examples of reductions: gonna, wanna, gotta, have to, dunno. If you want to learn how to use reductions better, then wait till the end of this lesson for another that I recently did all about reductions. So, quick practice. I'm going to go to the shops. I'm going to go to the shops. I want to have some cake. I want to have some cake. I've got to do my homework. I've got to do my homework. I have to do my homework. I have to do my homework. There we go. So far, contractions, reductions. I'm sure you use some of these already. Okay, number 3. Now, I think this sounds easy, but it can be quite tricky. Depending what is your first language, this might be something that you're not so familiar with. Intonation. So what is intonation? Intonation is the pattern of sound in our voice when we speak. And it gives a real idea of how you're feeling, and it also means you're not too boring. So this is what it would be like if I spoke without intonation. Hello and welcome to Love English. Today I'm going to teach you a very exciting lesson all about how to sound like a native. Yes, that's right. It's very exciting. Wow, how boring would I be? As a teacher, it's so important that our intonation is really engaging and clear, because I don't want my students to fall asleep. So remember, intonation with things like questions. How are you today? How are you today? What did you do last night? What did you do last night? Are you tired? Are you tired? Remember, intonation can be used with even just one single word. For example, if you give me a present and I want to say thank you, sometimes the intonation doesn't hide how you really feel. Let's imagine you've given me chocolate as a present. Thank you. Thank you. What about a pair of socks? Thank you. A diamond ring. Thank you. Intonation can express happiness, sadness, confusion, so many different things. Now, if you're not sure how to improve your intonation instantly, sometimes your posture and your facial expressions will help you. If you're happy and you're smiling, your intonation is automatically going to be higher and happier. If you're sad or stressed, your intonation is automatically going to come down a bit lower and will show how worried you could be. But facial expressions and body language will help you express this if you're not sure. Okay, number 4. This involves knowing something about the schwa sound. The schwa is the most common sound in the English language. We use it all the time. Even my name contains a schwa. Leila, Leila. The schwa is a weak sound. Very weak, very lazy. And that's why we often use it with auxiliary verbs or even prepositions. For example, the preposition to is often pronounced ta. But we particularly use it with auxiliary verbs. For example, have. There is the strong sound, have. But when we use it in a sentence, have you done your homework? Have you done your homework? It can be much weaker, not just because of the contraction, but because we don't often pronounce auxiliary verbs in a strong way. Have becomes have. Has becomes has. She has done her homework. She has done her homework. Was. I was driving. I was driving. I was driving. She was driving. It's not was, but was. Then of course we've got the verb been, which actually it's not to do with a schwa, but it's still a weak form. Been becomes been. Been. Have you been? In this case, it's actually a main verb, but it still becomes weak. Have you been to the shops? Have you been to the shops? So make sure that you learn which verbs are used in the weak forms. Okay, number 5, a fantastic and really easy way to help you sound more native. Sentence stress. In English, when we're trying to emphasize something, when we're trying to say how important something is, we stress the word or words in the sentence. Let's take a really simple sentence. I love using this as an example. I love chocolate. I love chocolate. Now, ordinarily, you could say, I love chocolate. You don't have to really stress any of the words. But if I say, I love chocolate, I mean me, not you. I love it more than you. If I say, I love chocolate, then I don't mean that I just like it, that it's okay, that I enjoy it. I mean I really love chocolate. I like to eat it all the time. That's probably the word that I would stress in this sentence. If I say I love chocolate, then it means it's chocolate. I don't want fruit, I don't want vegetables, I don't want pasta or pizza, I want chocolate. I love chocolate. So can you see how important sentence stress can be and how simple it is to use? I'm using it with you all the time. Number 6, we are looking at intrusive sounds. Now in English, in order to connect words together when we speak, we often add a sound, particularly between vowels. This helps the flow of speech. It helps you sound much more fluent, and it's quite bizarre when you break it down and listen very carefully, but you may find that you already do this a little bit. The main intrusive sounds we have in English are r, y, and w. So let me give you some examples. Go out the back way. Go out the back way. Go out. Go out. So there, between the two vowel sounds, we've added a w. Go out. Go out. You can't hear it, and it doesn't sound so strange when you speak fast, but when we slow it down, go out, it does sound a little bit strange. You are 21. You are 21. You are. Again, we wouldn't usually say you are or go out. It doesn't sound very natural, and it certainly slows down the flow of speech. So there's an example of the intrusive W. Then we have the intrusive R. For example, my other umbrella, my other umbrella, my other umbrella. We're actually saying rumbrella. Or car engine, car engine. We're connecting the sounds together with an R. very good example would be law and order, law and order. We don't actually say and order, law and order. We say law and order. So there's the intrusive R. Finally, the intrusive y. So, an example, I always go out, I always go out. I am slowing down a little bit here to really emphasize the intrusive sound, but when I speak naturally, I always go out, I always go out. I always. So there we have an I and a vowel following it. I ate the last chocolate, I ate the last chocolate. Slowing it down, I ate the last chocolate. An intrusive y there. Okay guys, so the last tip, it's kind of 2 in 1. It's called elision and assimilation. Elision and assimilation. What this means is that we can have a sound that disappears or almost takes on another sound. Sounds a bit complicated, yes. Again, I did say it was more advanced. So if we look at the word can't. Now that's British pronunciation. In American it's can't. The R and the A sound. So in American English, the can, can't. The A remains the same. In British English, can, can't. It changes. So let's listen carefully to this sentence. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. Did I pronounce the T? No, I didn't. Very often when the T goes between two consonant sounds, can't, with the N sound, and do, d, very often in this case we would have a disappearing T. So I can't do that. I can't do that. So a disappearing T. This is not just for can't, but it could be must. I must do that. I must do that. In this case, we'd probably just extend the S. I must do that. I must do that. The T, I must do that, becomes much weaker or disappears completely. So that is elision, a disappearing T. Then we have assimilation. Don't worry too much about the technical words. So when we have a T followed by a P, the T often is assimilated, so it becomes a P sound. For example, white paper. When we speak clearly, slowly, white paper. But when we have a T followed by a P, it's white paper, white paper, white paper. It disappears. Again, this is about flow. It means that we can speed up when we talk. Otherwise, we are saying every word exactly like this, and no English person really speaks like this. Now, another example, the only one I was thinking of at the moment was fat pig, okay? So he was, don't call anybody a fat pig. Let's imagine we've got a real fat pig here. So fat pig, fat pig. What I'm actually saying is fat pig. I don't say fat pig. So when we have a T followed by a P, the T often is assimilated, so it becomes a P sound. Fat pig, fat pig. There we go. Okay, so let's just run through those 7 secrets to sounding like a native very quickly. Contractions, use them. I've been, you've been, she's been. Got it. Reductions, gonna, wanna, shoulda, coulda, have to, gotta, dunno. Using your intonation to sound more natural. How are you today? What have you done? Remembering that there are weak forms of verbs. I was working, I was working. Have you been out? Have you been out? Sentence stress. I love learning English. I love learning English. I love learning English. I love learning English. Intrusive sounds. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. My other umbrella. My other umbrella. Car engine. Car engine. Intrusive sounds. Disappearing sounds. I can't do that. I can't do that. Assimilation of tea. What a fat pig. Those were my 7 secrets to sounding more native now, instantly. Have a go and see if you can improve your fluency and sound like a real native speaker. Don't forget to subscribe and share this lesson if you thought it was useful. Thank you for watching.